दयार सागर तेरा से करुणा कोरी हो है वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर से करुणा कोरी हो है वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर तेरा से करुणा कोरी वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर तेरा से दिया पाद छाया शोधो है माया तुम्हारा चरण धोरी दिया पाद छाया शोधो है माया तुम्हारा चरण धोरी छाया वेग दोमी छाया दोष शोधी छाया गुण देहो रासे छाया वेग दमे छाया दोष शोधी छाया गुण देहो रासे छाया सत्संग देहो है आवारे भोषे ची संगेरा से देहो है कि अमार नहीं पाया बल हरि नाम संकीर्तन बल हरि नाम संकीर्तन तुम्हें कृपा कोरी श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया देह कृष्ण नाम धने देह कृष्ण नाम धने कृष्ण से तोमार कृष्ण जीते पारो तुम्हारा शक्ति आते कृष्ण से तुम्हारा कृष्ण जीते पारो तुम्हारा शक्ति आते हमें तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बलि धाई तव पाछे पाछे हमें तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बलि धाई तव पाछे पाछे हमें तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली घाई तव पाछे पाछे हमें तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली घाई तव पाछे पाछे वाह वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर तेरा से करुणा कोरी ओ है वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम संकीर्तन की, श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री श्री गौनिताय की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, जय गौर प्रेमानंदे। Murali Gopinath Prabhu, should I speak in Hindi, English?
Prabhuji, last time it was Hindi,
Okay.
so this time it can be in English, Prabhuji.
Okay, what is the topic I gave? 6?
6 tips to rise above all obstacles in spiritual life.
Okay. Thank you. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuvanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namavam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratpishe Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So what are the 6 tips? You already know it, but I will explain it in a very special way today. I'll just show you. You know this famous verse, which I am showing here. You all can repeat after me. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha laulyam cha shadbhir bhaktir vinashyati. There are 6 items, you know, you all have studied in your Bhakti Shastri course also, these 6 items. But you can see this slide, how they are put, these 6 items. The first thing that starts in our life here is Janasanga, or bad association. And then by bad association, we do Prajalpa, unwanted talk. And, So, and then from the Prajalpa comes the Niyamagraha, which means neglecting spiritual life, being careless about spiritual life, because Prajalpa means different type of interest. Then, subsequently what comes? Laulyam comes, greed comes, and from the material greed increases. Then we do Atyahara, means accumulating more and more. Because of that greed. And then in order to accumulate more and more, then we do hard work, prayas. This is how everything starts. So all of you, congregation devotees of Nityanand sector, I wish to welcome all of you. We are all coming together like this time to time and discussing about how we can enhance the quality of our Krishna consciousness by this hearing program. You all are very fortunate. You are also regularly getting the attention of the Bhakti Vriksha leaders. You are also attending, foundation course or Bhakti Shastri course. So in that way, you are very nice hearing program you have in our temple. This is exactly like watering the devotional creeper. That is what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Bhakti Lata beach has to be watered by hearing process. You will see if somebody is sleeping, even if a person is covered fully with a blanket, you touch him, and he will turn around and sleep on the other side. You have seen that? If you touch like that, you turn around and sleep on the other side. If you show him the clock, he can't see it because his eyes are not open. So there is only one method of waking up a sleeping person. How? By calling, "Hey, get up! It's late for the office." Then immediately he will jump up from his bed. So Prabhupada says that therefore the sound is used for waking up, using an alarm clock. Get up, like that it says, isn't it? In the same manner, like the body is woken up by an alarm clock, the sleeping soul is woken up by two things, by holy name and holy fame. Hearing the Hare Krishna mantra and hearing the glories of the Lord through Srimad Bhagavatam. That's how. Therefore, by hearing, we wake up to the reality. And when the reality is seen by us, then we take very active steps to go back to Godhead. And we understand the futility and the sufferings in this world. And we understand that, I should not be an imitator of the Lord, trying to enjoy separate from the Lord, let me go back to God. So that waking up will come. Therefore, the hearing is the most important process. And now in this slide you see here, first thing I told you is Janasangha. This Janasangha happened, you see, for Kaikeyi it happened. So who gave her the Janasangha for Kaikeyi? Who? Mantra. So Mantra, Kaikeyi was very simple, innocent, pure-hearted. She had great love for the Lord Rama. And she was loving Ram more than Bharat also. And Kaushalya loved Bharat more than Ram. In this way, both the mothers, they loved the other sister's son more than their own son also. That way, family situation was a very happy situation. There was no selfishness. There was complete selflessness. You see, in our Indian culture also, it's a Vedic culture. Like you will see children, they think about parents. Parents, they think about children. It's like this. I think about parents, parents think about me. It's like that. Not the children think about themselves and parents think about themselves. That would be selfish. Similarly, husband, wife, husband should worry about wife, her convenience, comfort level and everything. And wife should worry about husband. And you will see that's what happens between Lakshmi Narayan. Lakshmi Narayan, if you see, Lakshmi wants to sit at the feet of Narayana and massage his feet. And Narayana is telling, "Hey Lakshmi, you may be very tired, please take. You can, in Lord's chest, there is a place for Lakshmi called the Srivatsa Chinha, golden hair. That's the residence of Lakshmi." He says, "Go and relax, Lakshmi, you inside my heart." But Lakshmi says, "No, I will sit and massage your feet." So Lord says, "You relax," and she says, "I will serve." So both are selfish or selfless? It's completely self. So is there love in selflessness or selfishness? Where is love? Selflessness?
Selflessness.
In selflessness.
Selflessness.
It's selfish. In selfishness, there is love. Selfishness, I think about myself and you may think about yourself. There is no love. There is only exploitation. But selflessness means niswarth. Swarth versus niswarth. Swarth means selfish. Niswarth means non-selfish. So Lakshmi and Narayana are swarth or niswarth?
Niswarth.
Niswarth. Completely selfless. Therefore, there is love. Bhakta is thinking about the Lord. Lord is thinking about Bhakta. When Sita Mata was in Ashoka Vatika, that time she refused to eat any food in Lanka because everything was non-vegetarian. She refused to touch any food. Several days she was fasting. Immediately Lord Rama worried. If Sita doesn't eat anything and drink any water, she will die. What will happen? Then immediately Lord Rama inspired Brahmaji in his heart. Then Brahmaji immediately told all the demigods, somehow we have to make Sita eat. What to do? Then somebody suggested that let us send celestial sweet rice to Sita. Because once you eat celestial sweet rice, 1 year you don't have to eat. Only once only you have to eat. So then he sent Indra Indra carried celestial sweet rice from heaven and he turned himself into a Brahman, looking like a Brahmana. Then he went to Sita. Sita saw this effulgent Brahman coming. She didn't trust him. She said, wait a minute, I can't trust your Indra. He may be Ravana also, I don't know. But then she saw Indra showed his form and also his leg was above the ground. His dress was completely pure. Garland was unfaded garland. There was no dust on his clothes. Eyes were non-blinking eyes. And his shadow was not falling on the ground. Everything she saw that and understood, this is Devata only, Indra only. Then she accepted the sweet rice and she ate it. And for 1 year she didn't have to eat after that. The point is, when Sita is not eating, who is worrying about it? Ram is worrying. And when Ram is told to go to forest for 14 years, who is worrying?
Sita.
Is Ram worrying?
Sita.
Or Sita is worrying. So, that is the ideal situation. But here you look at this slide here. When Janasanga happened, that means Kussanga, Dussanga happened for Mantra with whom? With, of Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi became selfish. Instead of loving Ram, she started loving her own son. I will make Bharat the king. She thought, why should Ram become the king? And that happened by Prajalpa. So from Janasanga you see here, then Prajalpa comes. And what is the meaning of Prajalpa? Prajalpa means mundane talk. Now what is mundane talk? For example, if two women meet, they talk about saris, they talk about food, they talk about economic status, they talk about sons and daughters going to America, London, correct now? They talk about who has saved how much gold. And they talk about who has taken a bigger house. Earlier they were in 2 BHK, now they have taken 3 BHK now. Who has taken a bigger car. Earlier they had only Maruti, now they have Benz car. They may talk about these things. And that is what is called as Prajalpa. When they talk about these things, then what happens? Then the result of that is envy comes. If some lady tells her friend, hey, do you know, she got this, her husband, got a bigger job, they got a Benz car. And then, we two guys, we have only Santro car. If she says like that, then both of them, they look at her with envy. Hey, she's very rich now. We also want to somehow buy the car. They'll go and twist their husbands and say, look at that fellow, they're having a bigger car, why don't you get a bigger car? That's the result of Prajalpa is envy. You see, and men also, what men do, when the men are going to office, men are also talking about money, how to multiply money, how to earn more money, how to get a bigger house, how to become more popular, how to expand one's influence over others, domain over others. So, how to get promotion. Like one person was telling me in one city where I went, he was so poor, he was staying in a rented house. So he was seeking my blessings and mercy. He said, Prabhu, I have two children, very small children. We are staying in a rented house. We are very poor. We don't have any. We have simple job, not paying much salary and all that. I said, okay. So after 2 years I went, he came and told me, Prabhuji, good news for you. I got a big job now. Paying me big money. Company is giving me a big car also, everything. Now I got my own house now, Vasily. So another 3 more years later I went. He said, Prabhu, I have my own bungalow now. We have a garden. And I have purchased 3 more houses in the same city, he said. So I said, 3 more houses? 3 more, I suppose I have left them on rent, he was telling. Then I asked him, do you go to temple every Sunday? He said, Prabhuji, now business has become, I have left that company, now I started my own business now. Yeah, I will take you to my business enterprise. It's very huge now and I have multiplied my branches also. Then I told him, hey, 5 years before I met you, you were so poverty stricken, you didn't, you were staying in a rented house. Now Krishna has given you own house, given you a bigger job, and he has given you your own business, and you have purchased 3 more houses, and still I am seeing that you are not, serious about spiritual life. Niyama Graha has come. See the chart here. Janasanga led to. Now, he was actually, his friends and all told him, you are useless, you are not making enough money and everything. Then they were talking and everything, and then he went there, worked hard. Then that Prajalpa led to, then he neglected spiritual life, and then he grew in material life. Material life, he became very big. Then what happened? See, the next item is laulyam. Greed came. How need became greed? How? Because earlier he had no house only, he rented house, but now he had own house plus he purchased 3 more. And due to the purchasing of 3 more bungalows, houses and leaving them for rent, his spiritual life went for a toss. He practically stopped his spiritual life, stopped going to temple. He became very materialistic. And he started getting kick and joy in making more money and becoming a bigger man and expanding business in various cities of India, going around. Then when he met me, he immediately realized, sorry Prabhuji, I think I have gone off track. Now, after looking at you, I'm feeling that I'm a little guilty. 5 years ago when I met you, I was practically poverty-stricken. Now, you gave me blessing and you spoke in our house and everything. Now I have become too materialistic. I think now, then I told him, you see, Krishna is giving you more and more, but if you become proud, if you become materialistic, then Krishna says, Yasyaham managruhnami harishye taddanam shanai. Then Krishna will take it all away. You will not flourish. And I told him example of great kings like Yudhishthira Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, Parikshit, Arjun. They never actually became careless in spiritual life. They were always sincere. They were always serious about spiritual life. So I told him that you should take spiritual life seriously like them. So, of course, after that he became a little more careful. Now, what happens? Then when he took me to his office, I saw due to the laulyam, he expanded many offices. And atyahara means what? Accumulating more than necessary. So he has 5 cars. One is a topless car, which he can take it to beach. Another one is a big formal car to go to company with all office matters and all. Another one is a family car, big car where many family members can go. Like that, another car. Another is a sleek car and thin car which can go fastly in the city in case the traffic is too much. So I was telling how that means your atyahara has come. You have accumulated more than what you actually need. He said, Prabhuji, whatever you may say, but nothing came by chance, Prabhu. I worked very hard, Prabhu. And that is prayas. He has slogged hard, worked hard, put his sweat and toil. That means he worked 16 hours a day. And also for hard work, he got the fruits also. But in the course of getting his fruits of hard work, what he lost? Krishna consciousness. So this is exactly called penny wise, pounds foolish. What is the meaning of penny wise, pounds foolish? See, if you have this kaleidoscope, kaleidoscope, if you turn the kaleidoscope like this, from Kanyakumari you can buy that. Generally in the seashore they sell it. If you move it like this, the kaleidoscope, you will see different designs will come. Beautiful formations will come. Colorful, like Rangoli type of things will come in that. So somebody gifted me that kaleidoscope 3 days before my examination in my school days. And my exam was spoiled because I was going on turning and seeing it. How kaleidoscope looks very nice. But then after my exam was over, I became curious. What is inside kaleidoscope I wanted to see. I broke it open and saw. Mirrors were there and broken bangles were there. Broken bangles, girls wear these bangles. Broken bangle pieces, that's all was there. I was wondering how few bangle pieces and mirrors make it so attractive, because when you turn it like this, the bangles fall in this way, that way, and the mirrors are reflecting them. So it looks like a design. Similarly, Mayadevi puts lot of design. She says business, bank balance, land, relatives, aristocracy, fame, name, foreign chance, popularity. Like that, she puts a lot of glitter and so she attracts us like this. And man is also wondering, foreign chance, run that. Big bank balance, run that. Popularity, run that. So he is into a running mode. He runs behind each of the glitter, that is called prayas. Prayas means, speeding up. Speed is going fast and trying to get this, trying to get that. But all these are like broken pieces of glass. Bhagavatam says that. Why? At the end of our life, nothing of this will come with us. They will all remain behind. We are naked soul will come out of the body and we have to go to the next body. Therefore, he is called penny wise, pound foolish. He has not done any Mangalmaya work, good work for the next life. And if he has not done any work for the next life, and he has accumulated lot of goods in this life, he is considered a foolish person. So these big facilities and everything I'm telling you, these are all like bubbles of soap bubbles. Soap bubbles look very attractive, colorful, but they don't last long. They all will explode after some time. So that's what the Srimad Bhagavatam teaches this. So see the connection again, we will see now. Janasanga means bad association. So all of you devotees, you all are special class in the society because you have chosen to come to Krishna's lotus feet. So Krishna says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tatpataha. Arjuna, 1 out of 1,000 people think about what is soul, what is body. And out of thousands of them, such people, the one understands Krishna in truth. Krishna says, first he understands the soul, then understands Krishna God, then understands the relationship. That means 1 out of 10 power 6, which is very rare, 1 in a million practically. So 1 in a million only understands Krishna, which is very rare, and that chance has come to all of us in our lives. So we have to be very careful not to get kussanga or dussanga. Now each of these items I will tell you 2 examples. One negative example, one positive example, so that you can avoid the negative type of association and then you can take the positive thing. Correct, no? Like in Janasanga I was telling you. The negative association, I already told you, the example of Mantra giving a bad association to Kaikeyi. Another example is Shakuni giving bad association to Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. No, you can see that. Similarly, Kamsa's ministers giving bad association to Kamsa. Kamsa was almost reformed, but his ministers spoiled him. Same thing, ministers of Ravana giving him bad association and spoiling him. Like that, by ill preaching. They were all spoiled by ill preaching. Similarly, there was one great fellow, his name is Vivida. Narakasya saka kaschit Vivido nama vanaraha. Bhagavatam says that. And Narakasya saka kaschit Dvivido. So the Dvivida did one big mistake in his life. He went, see, Dvivida is who? He is as good as Hanuman. Do you know that? If you see in some Ram temples, Hanuman is sitting down on either side, Dvivida and Mahinda. And two associates will be standing of Ram. I think in Mahinda, but one is Dvivida, surely. They will be standing Vanaras, while Hanuman is sitting at the feet of Rama. They are also associates like Hanuman. But Dvivida got into trouble. How? He made friendship with Narakasura. That was a mistake he did. By making friendship with Naraka. Who is Narakasura? You know that. Bhaumasura. He friend. And who was Bhaumasura? Bhaumasura made friendship with Banasura. So therefore birds of the same feather flock together. So Dvivida, Bhaumasura, Banasura, they used to have meetings, gatherings. So by such gatherings, they started gradually becoming degraded in their character more and more. And this Dvivida started beating the ocean and creating huge waves, creating trouble to all the people. And he is the same fellow, Dvivida. In Krishna Leela also he comes. One more mistake happened with Dvivida. He started offending Lakshman. This is another thing that happens. First we associate with bad people and they criticize ISKCON. They talk ill of ISKCON, Vaishnava culture and everything, godly culture and everything. We hear it by associating with them. Then we come to ISKCON and we look at devotees and we criticize devotees. When we criticize devotees, then we do aparadhas. And by that aparadha, what happens? We go far away from Krishna. And then we leave the devotees and go and associate with non-devotees. And that's what happened to Dvivida. He associated with demons. They were criticizing the Lord. Then he started criticizing Lakshman. And the result is he became more close to Asuras and far away from the Lord. And because of that, what happened in Krishna Leela, you will find Dvivida was in the Raivata Parvat mountain range when Krishna Balaram were taking the gopis and walking. They were singing a beautiful song. It was a very beautiful season. And this fellow, Dvivida, from there, he shouted, "Killa, killa, killa!" Like that he shouted. And the gopis looked around and they saw this monkey. And the gopis by nature are simple and innocent. They laughed seeing that. And that fellow thought, oh, I am able to impress these little girls and gopis. Now I will impress them more. Then he jumped and came to nearer and nearer trees. "Killa, killa!" Like that he was shouting. And then he started displaying his whole body, naked body. So when gopis saw that, they considered it obscene. They just turned their face away, nasty fellow, like that. So he then came down from the trees and started catching the saris of the gopis. Now Krishna and Balaram, they saw that, and so gopis cried out for Krishna Balaram, and then Krishna said to Balaram, now this fellow is becoming unruly now. Take some action. Then immediately Balaram picked up a fight against this Dvivida. And then first they plucked out the trees and started fighting with trees. Then they picked up big boulders and throwing. Finally they had a like Mal Yuddhas they do with the body fight. And then Balaram with his Mushti Prahar hit him on the head, and that fellow bleeded and died on the spot, fell down to the ground. Balaram ji ki. Yeah. So this is the Dvivida Vad. Ultimately he was envious of Lakshman, envious of Balaram. He was killed. You can see that by bad association. So now let us think of how somebody was walking a wrong path, but by good association they were saved. Can any of you give example? They were actually supposed to walk in the wrong path, but they were saved. Like Dhruva Maharaj was contemplating enviously on his stepmother. He wanted her to be punished somehow. But then he met his mother, Suniti. Then he met Narada. And his mentality for taking revenge on stepmother went away. Same with Prithu Maharaj. He was very angry with Indra because Prithu was performing yajna. And he was performing 99 yajnas are over. And Indra was called Shatakratu. Shatakratu means one who has completed 100 yajna. Now Indra thought, I have a track record. In the whole universe, there is nobody who has done 100 yajna except me. If this fellow completes the 100th one, my name will be in doldrum. Nobody will look at me. Everybody will say, Indraji, look at Prithu. He is equally good like you. They will say. So I don't want anybody to touch this record. Let everybody be below 100. And that's why Indra always sends apsaras to, pull the leg of Vishwamitra Muni and other munis also. If they do tapasya, he's a little worried. They will take over my seat. He's insecure. So when Prithu was about to touch 100, Indra personally went and he stole the, horse from which was kept to Ashwamedha. See, Ashwamedha Yajna, horse, you can stop it. And then you have to wage a war. That is the right thing to do. Instead of that, stopping the horse, nobody stopped it in the world. But Indra stole the horse so that the Yajna cannot be complete. 2, 3, 4 times he did that. And really, that was very inappropriate behavior. So Prithu became very angry. He himself took the sword to kill him. Of course, Brahmanas told him, your hand should not be tainted with blood. You are a Yajaman. We will chant a mantra by which Indra will go into the fire. Swaha! They were about to put the Swaha Ahuti in the fire. Immediately Brahma came and said, stop! What are you fellows doing? Prithu is earthly king and Indra is heavenly king, and earth and have a connection. Devan bhaveta anena te deva bhavayantu parasparam bhavayanta shreya paramavapsyata. Krishna says, you have to do yajna for the devatas, and devatas will give you all supplies for you. There should not be fight between heaven and earth. It will create a turmoil in the whole world, and asuras will become stronger. Asuras will defeat both the earth and heaven, and they'll take over the whole place. All Brahminical culture will be finished. So he said, wait a minute, you guys don't fight. And this is what we should tell devotees also. Hey, devotees, don't fight amongst yourselves, because if you fight, the non-devotees will become powerful. Outside the world, they will take over. They will say, hey, devotees are fighting. They will say, devotees, move aside. There are temples in India where trusty people are fighting, due to which the government told, you guys are fighting, you get out. Now they took over the temples. And they are taking the hundi money and they are purchasing eggs and giving to school children with the hundi money. People are putting money in the hundi for Lord's service and the pujari's salary or something. But these people are taking the money and buying eggs and giving to school children for the lunch meal or something. So therefore devotees should never fight. That's what Brahma taught. And by good preaching of Brahma, what did Prithu do? He walked the right path. He did not become greedy. He did not become envious. He was not argumentative. So we all need good sangha, good association, people who will help us become free from anger, free from envy, free from malice, free from greed, free from prajalpa. So we need good devotees association, very, very important. So in this way we can quote examples of somebody who got By good association, they were walking around. Like Dhruva Maharaj, actually Dhruva Maharaj, when he returned back from the forest, his brother Uttam, one day was killed by one yaksha. And Dhruva became extremely angry. How can somebody kill my brother? My brother is so dear to me. So he waged a war against yakshas. But no yaksha was telling him which yaksha killed. They were hiding. They were not telling. So Dhruva waged the war against the whole yaksha race. Initially, yakshas were also super enthusiastic. But later on, they saw the power of Dhruva. They ran away to Alkapuri. And Dhruva entered Alkapuri with his chariot. And he was like planning to wipe out the race of yakshas. At that time, Swayambhu Manu came and said, Dhruva, wait a minute. Samyatcha Badra Rosham Te. He says, hey, restrain your anger. This is not good. In our kulam, Nasmatat Kula Uchitam Tata. He says, in our kulam, nobody has acted so enviously towards any creatures. One yaksha killed your brother and you want to destroy 1,000,000 yakshas for that? This is unacceptable. If you find that one yaksha kill him, that's all right. But you have no right to kill all the other innocent yakshas. They are all Punya Janan. They are all associates of Kubera. You may be angry towards them, but Kubera is angry towards you. Kubera is thinking that why this fellow is killing so many of my men. He'll be upset with you. So, and Swayambhu Manu told him, you are a pure devotee. You have gone to the forest, you have seen Vishnu, eye to eye. You got the blessing of Dhruva Loka and everything. Now you have come back to the kingdom now, my dear boy. So he's actually the grandfather of Dhruva, Swayambhu Manu. His father is Uttanapad, Uttanapad's father is Swayambhu Manu. So grandfather came and gave good association to Dhruva. And immediately Dhruva folded his palms and said, I'm sorry. Now I will go and seek forgiveness from Kubera. And immediately Dhruva, by good association, he gave up the envy for whom? For the yakshas. He gave up the envy. So we can give many examples like this. Actually, instead of Janasanga, we want Satsanga. In Janasanga, Prajalpa happens. In Satsanga, you get the right map. Glorification of the Lord happens. And all good qualities are taught. Like Dhruva Maharaj's mother, Suniti, taught him good qualities like that. So I told you positive and negative examples. Now coming to Prajalpa now, second one. Prajalpa actually means, Prajalpa, 5 things Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. It begins with useless talk. Useless talk means talk about cinema characters, talk about sports personalities, talking about cricket scores, and talking about money, increasing money, expanding money, and talking about women, men talking about women, women talking about men. So these are all useless talk. And the useless talk leads to argumentation. Argumentation leads to debate. And debate leads to fault finding. Fault finding leads to blasphemy. These are the steps. Useless talk, arguments, debate, fault finding, blasphemy. All this is called as Prajalpa. Useless talk, we call it. Once upon a time, in Panchatantra, there's a funny story. Once a tortoise was living in a pond, and it was rainy season, there was water. But then when the summer season came, next summer came, it started getting hot, and the water level reduced. So two cranes came there to that pond. They told the tortoise, "Hey, tortoise, this water is drying up very fast. We are very worried about your life. It seems to us that if it completely dries up, some human beings around, they will catch you and kill you. We have wings to fly, but you can't fly. We are very sorry about your life. We don't know what's going to happen." So tortoise asked, "Do you have any idea?" He asked. This tortoise was a very talkative tortoise. Prajalpa doing tortoise. So he was also looking for company to do Prajalpa. He was not getting anybody. When these two fellows came to talk, he asked them. And these two guys told him, "See, we can help you out. There is another big lake, which is a couple of kilometers away. We can take you there to that lake. Once you go to that lake, then there is no dearth of water. Unlimited water you will have." And the tortoise was very happy. "But can you tell me, how can I go? It's a village. If I slowly move, somebody will catch me on the way." They said, "Don't worry. We will put a stick and we 2 cranes will catch on either side. And you catch it with your mouth like this, the stick. And we will fly in the sky. Make sure you don't do anything. Just hold on to it. And as soon as the lake comes, we will slowly come down and drop you in the lake. and then you can live there forever happily. And tortoise agreed to the plan. So they brought a stick and two swans started catching with their beaks, started flying up, carrying the tortoise. Now all the village people below started talking. Hey, what is this happening? Two cranes are carrying a tortoise, and it is hanging. Itne bari, such a heavy tortoise, how are they able to carry? A lot of talks are happening. Now the tortoise is a talkative tortoise. He was very curious. Why so many people are talking? He wanted to know from the two cranes, "Ye log kya bol rahe hain? What are they talking about us?" So as soon as he opened the mouth to ask, "Kya ho raha? What are they talking?" What happened? That was the end of tortoise. He opened the mouth, he fell from the top. So this is how people do prajalpa and fall down in spiritual life. By prajalpa, people fall. So therefore, one has to give up useless talk. You see? See, we have to control our tongue. Because the tongue has no bones, but we can speak something which will cause the breaking of bones. Somebody will beat us up if we talk wrong things. Is it not true? So, this is a bad example of prajalpa, somebody doing useless talk. Now, we can give examples from Shastra. Somebody went to talk useless things to somebody, and the other person is a good person. He overpowered this person and converted the useless talk into a Krishna conscious talk. Can you think of an example like that? Who went to somebody to talk something useless? Like for example, in the Shanda and Amaraka's ashrama, the teachers wanted to teach politics and diplomacy and enmity and quarrel and how to become opposed to Vishnu. Complete non-Krishna conscious talk. That's what they were teaching. Shanda and Amaraka. They were seminal sons of Shukracharya. They were not qualified people, but they were actually teaching Asuric culture. So, Prahlad Maharaj was fed up hearing that. He was not at all happy. See, how can a Krishna conscious devotee sit in a place day in and day out, they are talking prajalpa? He was really fed up. But what did Prahlad do? In the lunch time, he gathered all his friends. And the friends said, Prahlad, our teachers are teaching us about money making, not man making. Teachers are teaching about friend and enemy, how to make friendship with asuras and make enmity with devatas. But we are finding you are living like such a pure life. Can you tell us how you are so pure-hearted and so simple and straightforward and you are always chanting Vishnu's names? So they were actually surprised. And Prahlad told them, come, he gathered all of them. And then he said, Kaumara macharet prajño dharman bhagavataniha durlabam manusham janmatadapyadruva martadam. My dear friends, from the age of 5, one should take to Krishna consciousness. One should not waste. And they said, Prahlad, but we are all children. Children are supposed to play. Is it time to become God conscious? That we generally heard that only old people are supposed to do. Prahlad said, my dear friends, what is old age after all? Old age is something, do you agree it comes before death? They said, yes, that's true. After people become 70, 80, they die. Yes, old age comes before death, they said. And he asked the friends, can you say you will not die tomorrow? And they thought and said, oh, that we can't say. Death can come any time to anybody. That means if death can come to you tomorrow, today you are an old man. Therefore start Krishna consciousness. Like that Prahlad said. And they were amazed. Prahlad's logic is very profound. And then he told them, Tat prayaso na kartavyo yatah ayurjaya param na tata vindate kshemam mukunda charanambujam. He told them, Tat prayaso na kartavyo. My dear friends, don't work hard like donkeys in this world to accumulate more. They asked, why Prahlad? Everybody is working hard in this world. He said, even if you work hard and accumulate money is honey. But just as a honeybees accumulate a lot of honey in the comb, but a farmer comes with a fire torch and drives them away and takes all the honey and goes. Similarly, your wealth will be taken away by death. Either by death or even before the thieves may take it away. So he said, don't waste your whole time in accumulating material goods. It's better for you to accumulate spiritual goods. Bhakti Sukriti. They asked, what is that? For that you have to chant Hare Krishna. They said, but what will you gain by that? He said, oh, you don't know? He said, Lord Vishnu is Atmeshwara, Priya, Suhrit. 3 things he said. Lord Vishnu is the master of Atma. And he is very Priya, he is very dear to the soul. Just as your mother and father are dear to you, Lord Vishnu is also very dear to you. And Suhrit, he is also well-wisher of the soul. There is a very tight relationship between Lord and the Jiva. Some Premaya Sambandha, very loving relationship. It's covered over now, like red hot coal is covered by ashes. Like that, you blow it, the ashes go away, then you can see the red hot coal. Like that, your love of God is hidden in your heart. If you wake it up, you will see at the time of death, you will leave the body, Mukunda Charanambujam, you will go back to Vaikuntha. There is no old age, no disease, no death, no job, no examination, no money making in the company. It's simply a life of mirth and merry. He preached about going back to Godhead. So now the friends who heard about the sweetness of Vishnu, the glory of Bhakti, Prahlada's genuineness, his character and qualities, they were deeply touched by Prahlada's high quality behavior. And they all told Prahlad, we are all impressed with you. We are not at all attracted to this economic development and, this kind of enemy making with the devatas. Your speech is very pure. And they asked Prahlad, how did you learn all this? Great, amazing knowledge you are speaking, and you are convincingly speaking to us. You are a Rajakumar. A Rajakumar generally doesn't go out of the palace because you have a huge palace and all eatables, everything you get within the palace. How did you learn all this? Prahlad told them, see, when I was in the womb of my mother, the great sage Narada gave me this knowledge called Bhagavata Dharma, which I am speaking to all of you. Love of God. I got that. See, amazing Prahlad. To his friends who are non-envious, he told them the secret that I learnt all this from my guru, Narada. When his father asked, hey Prahlad, where did you learn all this knowledge from? Same thing Shanta Namarka asked, Prahlad, tell us the truth. Where did you learn all these things from? And Prahlad said, what can I tell you? This is happening automatically in my mind. He said, just like iron filings are attracted to magnet, I am attracted to Vishnu. He never told the name of Narada. Because if you took Narada's name, they will immediately arrest Narada now. Hiranyakashipu will catch Narada and say, hey Narada, you spoiled my son. And they'll put him behind the bars. So he didn't take Narada's name to Hiranyakashipu. And he didn't take Narada's name to Chandamarka. But in front of his friends, he told secret. How shrewd and how intelligent Prahlad is. So Prahlad was put in a school which is Prajalpa school. But in the Prajalpa school, he preached Krishna consciousness. There's a positive example. You can see that how Prahlad was. Then comes Niyamagraha. You can see this. Niyamagraha. Niyamagraha has two meanings. Niyama agraha, Niyama agraha. See, Niyama agraha means accepting all the niyams, not for spiritual advancement. Just only superficially accepting. For example, when Angira Muni came to Chitraketu's palace, at that time Chitraketu actually was not happy. The reason was he was actually wanting a son. He didn't have a son at all. So he was thinking, who will do Pinda Kriya for me after I die? And who will be the next king? Who will rule the kingdom? All this worry was there in his mind. So when Angira Muni came in, Chitraketu immediately welcomed him very well and then made him sit on a very big seat, washed his feet, gave him some fruits and berries to eat. And he sat at his feet also after offering a garland to the Guruji. So Guruji, Angira Muni saw that he is very respectful, very polite. Externally, he is doing all the formularies you should do for Atiti Devo Bhava. He is doing that. But he is not in a mood to hear good instruction. Is it good? This is only drama only. That means, somebody is called as politely disagreeing to take instruction. He's very polite, well behaved, and there are people like that. Like in Pune, one fellow occasionally used to come to temple. Whenever his Guruji will come, he will be there. Whenever Guruji is there, on that day he will be there. He will come with a big garland, which is like Balaji garland. When he'll go to the Guru's room and Maharaj, I brought this garland for you, I'll put. And Maharaj will say, that is all right. But are you coming to temple every Sunday? Yes, Maharaj, I am regularly coming. He would say. And Maharaj would ask me, is he coming every Sunday? I would tell Maharaj, whenever you come, he comes. Maharaj will then tell him, see, more than this big garland, I'll be more happy if you simply come every Sunday to temple and take association of devotees. You give me this garland or don't give me, there is no problem. But I am more concerned to see you advance in spiritual life. So this is called Niyama Agraha. Agraha means he is very much respecting Guruji with garland, he is giving him donation, he is bringing his car to take Guruji to airport, but he will not chant Hare Krishna and he will not come to temple. So that is called Niyama Agraha. Agraha means externally accepting rules but not giving the heart. That is niyama. And niyama agraha means neglecting the rules completely, not following. Like for example, there was another disciple. Actually he was doing catering for one college. Vegetarian food he was catering. He was getting about monthly about 50,000 to 1 lakh he was earning. And suddenly college asked, can you cater us non-vegetarian food also? When he started catering non-vegetarian, he started getting 2 lakhs. 2.5 lakhs started getting. Then as he grew up, he started coming to temple. He became a devotee, 16 rounder. He wanted Diksha. So Guruji told him that, say, you can't cater non-vegetarian food. And how can I give you Diksha? I cannot give you. If you want Diksha from me, you have to stop the non-veg catering. Only vegetarian catering you can do. He agreed also. So then he got Diksha. But the family people started opposing. They said, hey, earlier you were making 2.5 lakhs. Now you are getting only 50,000 to 1 lakh. This is useless. ISKCON logo, ISKCON people have spoiled your business. They were saying, you do non-veg catering also. So he was like torn between the two, how to make more money. So he came and asked me also. I said, see, do one more business, I told him, if they want money. Another extra business you can do in the evening, because catering is only half a day only for him. You can do one more. So he tried one more business which was giving only 20,000-30,000 rupees or at the most 50. It was becoming 1.5, but family wanted 2.5, monthly. So he was telling Prabhuji, they want more. They are pushing me very much. And then he again started non-veg catering. And Guruji came to know, he was really very worried. Call him here, he said. He was not coming to temple when devotees went and called. Then Guruji called on phone. And then when we rang him up and said, Guruji want to talk to you, he said, no, don't disturb Guruji. Guruji is a busy man. Thousands of devotees want to meet him. But I don't want to disturb him. He said, hey, you don't have to disturb him, but Guruji want to talk to you. He is not ready to pick up the phone. This is an example of niyama agraha. Agraha means not following, breaking the regulative principles. And niyama agraha means accepting superficially. So both are bad actually. So this is what comes, why it comes, because of by Janasangha and Prajalpa, he is doing bad things now. Because, his family people are giving him Janasangha and they are doing Prajalpa and they are criticizing ISKCON, criticizing Guru and criticizing the pure lifestyle. By hearing that bad association, what has happened to him? He became polluted in mind. So he also went away from devotees even after taking Diksha, and he started catering non-veg. In this way, he went into Niyamagraha. Correct now? So now when he did Niyamagraha, why people do Niyamagraha? Because you see in the chart, Laulyam is there. Greed. Because, is there a difference between 1.5 lakh and 2.5 lakh? Some little difference is all right. He should put his foot down and say, I will not touch, I will not cater non-veg. You guys go to hell. Because, Mrigari, how Mrigari was, how he stopped even, harming an ant. That is the positive example. Mrigari was half killing animals and birds. But by association with Narada Muni, he firmly put his foot down and said, today onwards, I will not kill any animal or any bird. So much so that I will not harm even an ant also. That was his conviction by good Sangha. Because instead of Jana Sangha, he got Satsanga, he got Narada Muni's. Instead of doing Prajalpa, he chanted Hare Krishna. And then he didn't do Niyamagraha. He followed all the Niyams very strictly. And there was, instead of expanding the material Laulyam for more money making and more facility, he increased the spiritual greed to attain Krishna. So, Laulyam is not bad. Greed is not bad. But the greed is bad when it is material greed. Spiritual greed is good. Like Chanakya is saying, Santoshatrishu kartavyo swadare bhojane dane strishu chaivana kartavyo swadhyaya japadanayo. He's saying, 3 things one should be not greedy. He's saying. What is it he's saying? First one is saying, swadare, if you have one wife at home, don't look at another woman for enjoying, he says. Like one man, he was, when he was a boy, college boy, he was a simple boy, and parents saw a good girl in the same caste and the same relative family, and they got him married and settled them. And the girl was ordinary looking, not very extraordinary looking, but she was a Gunavati. She was a very noble girl. She would rise early in the morning and do puja and everything. and serve the husband very loyally, faithfully, chastely, and raise the children very nicely. She was a faithful girl. But this man was attracted to another girl in the office who was a newly appointed secretary of the manager. He would always looking at her, hey, she looks so beautiful. Look at my wife is not so beautiful. Later on, he understood that beautiful girl in the office is having affair with dozen men. Then he understood such a nasty woman. She is like a kutta billi. With dogs and cats, she is going with any boy. Anybody who gives her money, she goes. My wife is chaste wife. Then he understood Gunavati is better than Rupavati. He understood that. So in this way, you will find that Swadare Bhojane Dane. One should be happy with one's own wife. And one should not look at other women with a bura nazar. One should see them as mother. And Swadare Bhojane means one should cook at home, offer to the Lord and eat prasadam. One should not eat in the hotel outside. Because hotel people are making food for business. That will spoil the health also and consciousness also. But we should cook at home and offer it to Lord and eat. Swadare Bhojane and Dhane. Dhane means whatever money you earn, be happy with that. Don't take loan. Taking loan is a very bad habit. Because the moment you take loan, the anxiety starts after that. Nowadays, people have a car loan, house loan, so many loans. You go to somebody's house, the fan is also on loan, fridge is also on loan, TV is on loan, house is on loan, everything is on loan. So because everything on loan, he's also low. He's also in very, very big tension, the fellow. So therefore, he says three things. Swadare Bhojane. Then he says, three things you should never be satisfied. You should be greedy. What are they? Trishu chaiva na kartavyo, swadhyaya japadanayo. For studying Prabhupada books, one should be very greedy and happy to study more and more. You should never say, Prabhuji, 30 minutes ho gaya aaj ka padhai, Even after complete 30 minutes of reading per day, you can read more. Another half an hour you can read. Chanting 16 rounds over, you can chant 2 more rounds, 4 more rounds, no problem. There's no limit. Nobody will scold you for chanting more. Correct? It's good only. Swadhyaya, japa, danayo. Similarly, you are giving charity. Sometimes there's a discussion at home. Should we give how much to temple for Janmashtami? Should we give 1,000 rupees? Our husband is saying, I got a big bonus.
Good morning.
How much should we give? Wife saying, let us give 5,000. Husband is saying, let us give 2,000. When there's a bargaining, don't worry. Even if you have given little extra to God, that will always come back to you. Like, look at this fruit vendor lady. She gave the fruits to Krishna. She gave something like, 20 rupees worth of fruits and she got 20 lakh worth, gold and silver and diamond on her basket. And Krishna glanced at her basket, isn't it? So you never lose by giving to Krishna. You only stand to gain. Sudama gave some chipped rice. When he came home, he saw a big house and hundreds of servant maids and everything. So by giving to Krishna, you only gain million times more you gain. You will see that. So Kubja also gave little chandan to Krishna. Her ugly body was gone. And a handsome body, she got a very beautiful body, like of a young girl she got. Anybody who went to give Krishna a little bit also, they got something very great. So we should not hesitate to give Krishna, that's the point. So in this way, Laulyam is good if it is Swadhyaya, Japa, Danayo, all those things, Laulyam is good, otherwise not. And then there's Atyahara, next one. Atyahara actually means accumulating too many things. I will show you one little 2 minutes clip I will show you. You can see how... Your sound is coming, you tell, huh?
The ascetic and slain cloth.
In a forest near a village, there lived a guru and his disciple who spent all that time in prayer and meditation. Then one day,
My son, I have to leave you for a while. I am going on a pilgrimage. Remember all that I have taught you, and above all, lead a simple life. I will, Gurudev.
and the guru left. One morning, as usual, the ascetic washed his spare loincloth and hung it out to dry.
I will now go to the village to beg for alms. May God bless you for your kindness.
Later, when the ascetic returned to his hut,
Hey, that looks like a piece of my loincloth. It is. The rats have torn it to shreds. I will have to beg for another.
The next day at the village,
Mother, I need a loincloth. Can you spare me one?
A lion cloth.
The rats caught at mine and tore it off. I need another. I have a new one. I will give it to you.
the man went in and came back with it.
Here you are, holy sage.
The next morning,
Today I will hang my cloth high up here on the roof.
but that afternoon,
Oh no! The rats have torn up this one too. I have to get myself a cat.
so the ascetic got himself a cat. And soon the rats stopped troubling him.
I must keep my cat well fed. I know what, I will get myself a cow.
And so he got himself a cow.
My cat has as much milk as it needs and more. But I need straw to feed my cow. How shall I go about getting that? I could cultivate the land around my hut, and when the grain is harvested, I will have all the straw my cow would need.
Accordingly, the ascetic began to till the land round his hut. Soon,
What a fine crop I have harvested! The straw my cow will have, but what shall I do with the grain? I will need a barn to store it in.
so the ascetic hired laborers to build barns for him.
Sir, is this all right? No, make it taller. There is plenty of grain to be stored.
The ascetic had now become a landlord.
I need a wife to help me manage all this. I think I will marry.
And so, one fine day, the Guru returned from his pilgrimage.
Am I on the right road? Where is my disciple's little hut? Has some rich man driven my poor disciple away and built his estate here?
When a servant came out of the house, the Guru went up to him.
My good man, an ascetic used to live here once. Do you know where he is now?
Just then, the servant's master himself came out.
My lord, you.
He rushed forward and fell at his Guru's feet.
My son, what is all this? I left you leading the simple life of an ascetic. I returned to find you surrounded by wealth and possessions. How did this happen? Oh Gurudev, it's all began with a single loincloth. To protect it from the rats, I need a cat. And then there was no end to my needs. Forgive me, Gurudev.
Utility does not have full stop, it keeps increasing. So what lesson you all learned from this? It's interesting. Yeah. So as I showed you here in this chart, Atyahara means for taking care of the loincloth, he got rat was coming. So to prevent the rat, what he did? Got a cat. And the cat was meow meow, it wanted milk. So he got a cow. And then to maintain for the cow, he had to give barn and the grass and all this. For that, he had to cultivate grass. And then when he cultivated grass, grains came. He had then stored the grass. So somebody told him, why don't you get some servants? So servants came, but they were not working. So he thought, if I have a wife, she will be the manager for the servants. So he got a wife. Then wife came and said, hey, I need a sari, I need ornaments, I need a big house. Then he got everything. And this is how the brahmachari expanded his life, and Guruji came and saw. It's called example of Atyahara, means accumulating more and more. And he started getting into prayas, which last one you are saying, correct? No, prayas means hard work, like that. So this is how the material absorption increases. Opposite of this, you can see in the next slide, you can see here. What is cause of spiritual absorption? See, instead of Jana Sangha, we should have Bhakta Sangha here. Instead of Prajalpa, we should have Krishna Katha, as put here. And instead of there from Jana Sangha and Prajalpa, what came? There we saw Janasangha Prajalpa Niyamagraha came, slackness in spiritual life, not following the principles or superficially following. Whereas here, Dridhavrata, one should, Yatantascha Dridhavrata, Krishna is telling. What is that verse? My devotees practice spiritual life with great determination, like Prahlad or Gajendra, like that. So that is Dridhavrata. Bhakta Sangha leads to Krishna Katha, Krishna Katha leads to Dridhavrata. And then from Dridhavrata also Laulyam comes, but it's a spiritual Laulyam. Laulyam for Krishna Prema. Krishna Bhakti Rasabhavita Mati Kriyatam api kuto vilabhyate tatra laulyam api ekalamolyam janma koti sukraderna labhyate. He's saying that in this world, a human being should develop a greed for attaining the spiritual world, greed for attaining Krishna Prem. That laulyam will come for us. That is called Krishna Prem laulyam. Then by that what happens? Instead of doing atyahara, what he does? He is santushta, he is satisfied. And mitabuk, he eats also moderately. He doesn't eat too much. He doesn't accumulate too much. He doesn't, this also. He is satisfied also. He is not doing atyahara. And then because of not accumulating too much goods, his needs also become very less. I have a 2 BHK house. Okay. You have a wife, you have 2 children. And don't accumulate more and more goods. If you have a car you need to go from one place to another. No need to have a huge car, spending a big money. No need to have a huge house, spending a big money. No need to wear very costly clothes. No need to very opulent foods. No need to buy multiple houses to increase the money. Some people say 1 CR is safe. At least 1 CR we should. Some people say 5 CR. Some people say 10 crore. Some people say 20 crore. So security has no end only. So therefore, labho jiveta yavata, as it says here. He is satisfied by keeping body and soul together and spending maximum time in Krishna consciousness. So we say maximize Krishna time, minimize Maya time. We say, so maximize Krishna time, minimize Maya time. That's the formula. So this is a cause of spiritual absorption. You can show. So earlier I showed you material absorption. This is spiritual absorption. You can see Haridas Thakur is chanting. Similarly, this family is also very happy. You see, they are doing bhajan, kirtan, very peaceful, simple family. May not be very rich, but do you agree they are happy family, correct? Similarly, here this man working in the office, those 2 ladies are yelling, shouting, is very shant, very peaceful. Similarly, look at the family, husband, wife, child, all are worshipping Krishna together. A family that prays together, stays together happily. And the father is reading Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, he is running the family very well. Similarly, the son is doing prayer, meditation. So in this way, we should keep our family simple and satisfied and happy in Krishna consciousness. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki. So I think I exceeded the time. One question I can take in 5 minutes.
Somebody has put it in the chat, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Reddy Prabhu. He has put question, Prabhuji. What is the essence of association of devotees? We are not able to meet in person nor invite devotees home.
Yeah, actually association mainly means Guhyamakyati Prachati. You should be able to ask sincere questions and get answers. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, bathing in the same ghat or traveling in the same boat is not association, he say. Simply you are sitting in the same boat in Bengal and traveling, or bathing in the same ghat, seeing each other, that is not association. Association actually means Arjuna and Krishna are talking, Arjuna is asking question, Krishna is giving answer, Arjuna is becoming convinced and becoming Krishna conscious, that is association. So even on Zoom, you are getting good association on Zoom. Regularly Bhakti Vriksha leaders are taking their meetings, you are also getting Bhakti Shastri, other classes and all. So taking association means you are practicing Krishna consciousness. Take help from other devotees, even on telephone or on Zoom. That is also Sangha. Sangha mainly happens through hearing. Through the ears, association should happen. Because as I told in the beginning of the class today, by hearing you wake up. Sleeping soul wakes up by hearing. And then further aspects of association means you visit devotees' homes, they give you prasad, they come to your house, you give prasad. That's association. And also on their birthday, you give some gift. On your birthday, they give you gift. That's also Priti Lakshanam. Other aspects of association. But in Yatra time, we get associated with devotees also together, dance together, sing together, chant together. Nowadays in Zoom also, people are doing japa together. Zoom japa. Correct, no? Zoom japa is there. Zoom. Many people are attending Mangalarti, Narsingha Tulsi Arati on Zoom. They are also attending Bhagavatam classes. So that type of whatever best Sangha is possible in our current scenario, COVID scenario, please take it. Is that all right?
Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
And
Prabhuji. I will take the question.
yeah, please take whatever questions they are supplying you now. Keep it all safely in a file and mail me. Next time I come to see all these wonderful devotees, I will answer them. Okay? Srila
Yes,
Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.